Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Sir Fog by Megan33, and here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 without repeats in any row, column, or box. The grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell. No guessing is required. So say you place a digit correctly here. That would clear all the digits in the surrounding 9 digits, including itself. And guessing is not required because you should be able to logic out everything just from the clues that you do see. Digits along a magenta red band form a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. So, for example, you could have something like 2, 3, 2, 1 here, or 8, 7, 6 is also possible, or actually probably 8, 6, 7 also works. Anything that has 3 consecutive digits for a 3-line renband would work. Something like 5, 6, 9 does not work because 9 is not consecutive with the other 2. And that's how renband lines work. Also, adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. So, for example, if this were a 3, this would have to be 8 or 9 to maintain because the only digits that are 5 or more away from 3 are specifically 8 and 9, and that's how that works. Digits in white circles must appear at least once in the 4 surrounding cells. So these are called quad circles, and basically it's saying this one is saying that there has to be a 4 and a 6 in the surrounding 4 cells. Yeah, but you can have more than one depending on where the quad circle is. This is saying there must be a 2 or an 8. Sorry, a 2 and an 8 in the surrounding 4 cells around this quad circle. So that's how quad circles work. And then we have crop key dots, where a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio. A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive values, and not all dots are given. So say we had a black dot here. Just imagine that's a black dot. Well, if this were 4, this would have to be 2 or 8 to make sure that these two digits have a 1-to-2 ratio. Now, say there was a 6 here. Actually, there can't be a 6 here. Let's say there was a 3 here. That would mean this would have to be 2 or 4 to make sure that these two digits are consecutive with each other. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, the one thing that first pops out to me is this 4, 6 quad circle. That means there must be a 4 and a 6 in the surrounding 4 cells. Well, the interesting thing is if there has to be a 4 and a 6 along this German whisper line, which would have to be along, they could not be here because 4 and 6 can only be next to one unique digit on a German whisper line. 4 can only be next to 9, and 6 can only be next to 1. So they cannot be here. If you try to make them both here, the problem is the 4 would have to be next to a 9 here, and the 6 would have to be next to a 1. So therefore, one of the 4 or 6s has to be here. And the other one is in one of these two spots, which would mean this is either 1 or 9. We're not sure which. Well, this 4 and 6, that means if there's a 4 and a 6 here, or a 6 here, that means there's a 4 or a 6 in one of these two cells, right? Which means you cannot have 4, 5, and 6 be on the red band because one of them is off the red band. So if it's 4, it could be 3, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4. If it's 6, it has to be 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. So you have a 3 or a 7. So the digits along the red band are allowed to be, can be 2, 3, 5, 7, or 8. But 2 and 8 have to be surrounding this quad cell. So 2 and 8 are removed. That means this must be 3, 5, or 7. Here specifically. And this must be 3, 5, or 7. Well, what does that mean then? That means it has to be 3, 4, 5 or 5, 6, 7. So either way, 5 is on this Ren band. 2 and 8 are not consecutive with each other. So they cannot be both in these cells. And since this is only 4 or 6, this then, one of these is 2 or 8, and the other one has to be here to be consecutive with something else. So therefore, this is 2 or 8. 5 cannot be here. So this can't be 5, which means 5 has to be here. So this is 5. This is the other 2 or 8. 4, 6 is here. We're not sure what's going on. So it could be, yeah, this could be varied though. So we'll not start with that one then. Okay. What information do we have here? So these are the same. These have to be the same direction, right? It's either 5, 4, 3 or 5, 6, 7. So these are the same set type. So we'll make that pink. This also has to be the same set type, right? If this is 4, 3, this becomes 2. If this is 6, 7, this has to be 8. The other set type must be in one of these two cells. So if it's here, that means, and on the German whisper line, you'll alternate between either lows and then highs, or highs and then lows, right? If you have a digit that's 1 through 4, what digit can be next to it on a German whisper line? It has to be, if you take the 1, add 5 or more to it, that leaves a 6 and above, which can be next to 1 through 4. So that means 6 and not through 9 has to be next through a 1 through 4. Now, what if you have a 6 through 9 on German whisper line? Take the highest digit, which is 9, and subtract 5 or more from it, then you get 4 or less. So therefore, 1 through 4 has to be next to 6 through 9. So we'll always alternate between highs and lows. Therefore, this is the pink one, and these two have to be orange, which makes sense, right? We already knew that. What about this? One thing this cannot be is 4 with 2 and 8, right? Because the, well, it could be actually 6, 7, 8. That actually does work. We know none of these digits can be a 5. So these two digits must be consecutive and are in a 2-to-1 ratio. It cannot be 8 and 6 then. It has to be 1, 2. Well, okay, so where can 1 and 2 be? If this were 1, this would have to be 2, but then this would also have to be 2, so that's not allowed. So this can't, and it's also in between two digits. So this could be 1, that could be 2. And then this would be 3, but then that would be 2, so that's not allowed either. So it cannot be 1 and 2. 2 and 3 seems to work okay. So if this is 2, this could be 1, this could be 3, 6. That works, and then this would be 4. Which would force us to be 6, 7, 8, which works. So that's if that's 2 and this is 3. What if this is 2 and that's 3? Then this would be 4. This would have to be 2 and 1, so that works, and then this would be 3 and 6. Which also works. So 2 and 3 works, and then we have 3 and 4 as possibilities. So if this is 3, then this is 4. This would have to be 2. 4 would have to be with 8, which works, and then 3 and 6 works. If this is 4, that means this is 6, 7, 8. So this would have to be 2 here. So if this is 4, this is 3, this would have to be 5. The 3 would be with the 6, and that works. So these are the possible combinations here, right? What does that mean? Okay, so these then are consecutive. If this is 1, this would be 2. If this is 6, it would have to be 7 because it could not be 5. If this is 8, this would have to be 9. Okay. So we know 3 has to be one of these two, right? It's either 2, 3, or 3, 4. Because we tried 1, 2, that doesn't work. Hmm. What about these pairs? It could be 1, 2. It could be 2, 4, 3, 6, or 4, 8. So this is pretty broad here. So if this is 2 and 4, obviously this is 6, 7, 8. And this is only 2, 4, or it's 3, 6. If it's so this one of these is 4 and one of these is 6. Sorry, this is either 4, this one of these cells is either a 4 or a 6. And this is 4 or 6. So this cannot be the 4 or 6 here. Therefore, where the other 4 or 6 in this quad circle has to be here. So this is 4 or 6 here, which means we have a 4, 6, 4, 6 pair in column 5, which eliminates 4 and 6 as a possibility in the rest of the column. Therefore, this cannot be 2, 4, 4, 8, or 3, 6. It actually has to be 1 and 2, which means this can't be 2. This is now a high, so it's 7 or 9 here. It has to be with a low, and it cannot be 1 or 2 because the 1, 2 pair eliminates all possibilities of a 1 or 2 in that box. Therefore, this is 3 or 4, and that can only be next to 9. So this is a 9, which makes this an 8. 8 can only be in a 1 to 2 ratio with 4, so this is 4, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 6. This must be a 2 then, because the only other digit that's consecutive with 3 is 2. So this is 2. This 6 means this can't be 6, so this is 4, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 2. Therefore, this is 8. This can't be 4. This is 6 and 1. This can't be 9. Where is the 9 in the central box? It has to be here. So this is 8 and 9, and this must be 7. Okay, so these are all lows. These are all highs. We know there's a 2 surrounding this quad circle, or yes, here. So the 2 cannot be here. The 2 must be one of these two. Which means this 1 to 2 ratio cannot be 1, 2, or 2, 4. It's specifically 3, 6, or 4, 8. This can't be 3, though, so therefore this can't be 6. The only digits which are consecutive with these cannot be 1, 2, or 3, because these are all low also. This is high. If it's low, it has to be a 4. So 4 cannot be here, because if that's 4, it has to be consecutive with 3 or 5. 5 cannot be on a German whisper line, because if you add 5 to 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more, which is not a digit. And if you subtract 5 or more from 5, you get 0 or less, which are not normal Sudoku digits. So therefore, if this is 3, this is 4. If this is 8, it could be 7 or 9. Therefore, if it's 3 here, that makes that a 6. If this is 8 here, this is a 4. So this is 4 or 6 no matter what. Let's see. Do we have anything else? If this is 4, this must be a 9 here. which is possible. If this is 7 or 9, it has to be a 1 here. Okay, so this is 1 or 9 here. If this is 4 and 9, this would be 3 then, so this would have to be 1 or 2. If this is 7 or 9 with a 1, it cannot be 8 or 9 here, so this is 6 or 7 here as a possibility. Okay. 2 cannot be here, so where is the 2 in column? 6. Cannot be here because of the 1-2 pair. Can't be here because they're all filled. Can't be here because of the 2 here, so one of these must be a 2. This requires a 4 or a 6, so it could be 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. If it's 3, 4, 5, this cannot be 6 because that would eliminate 3, 4. So this would be 4. You'd have to have a 3 and a 5. So the 5 would have to be here, and the 3 would have to be here if that's the case. You also have, what else? 3, 4, 5 for that. 4, 5, 6. If it's 4, 5, 6, 5 cannot be here, so 5 would be here. And this could be 4 or 6, so that works either way. If you have 5, 6, 7, again, this would be 6, this would be 5, but this would be 7, which is not allowed. So it cannot be 5, 6, 7. If it's 6, 7, 8, though, this would be 6, this would be 7, and this would be 8. So that works either way here. So this is 5 or 7 here. Where is 6 in row 6? It has to be one of those 3 cells. What else do we have? What are the remaining digits in row 5? They must be 1, 5, 8, and 9. Okay. That doesn't help very much. We know there's also a 7 around here, but it could be in either row. Remaining digits in row 4 are 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Which is still pretty broad. And this cannot be 4 here, so this is 5, 7, 8, 9. Remaining digits in row 6 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. This can't be 3 or 6. So 3 does have to be one of these 2 digits here. This cannot be 1, 2, 3, or 6. So this actually, okay, well, there you go. Can't be 2, 3, or 6. This can only be 1, 7. So this forms a 1, 7 pair, which eliminates 1 and 7 from the rest of the box and the row. So this can't be 1 or 7. This has to be 2 or 6. 2, 3, 6 specifically as a triplet. Therefore, this can't be 1. And it cannot contain a 7. Therefore, we know a 7 does have to be in row 3 around this quadruple circle. So this must be then a 2, 7 pair. So this is 2 and 7, which means this can't be 7. This must be a 5. Can no longer be 8 here because 8 required a, how do you say it? It required a 7 along the run band. This 2 is next to a white Kropke dot. That means it's consecutive with 1 or 3. Well, 1 is already taken because of the 1 in the column, so this must be a 2, 3 pair. So this is a 2, 3 pair, which means this cannot be 3. Therefore, this is 4, 5, and 6 as a run band. This 3 means this can't be 3, so this must be a 4, which is a low. So these are low, these are low, these are low. This cannot be 4 anymore, so this must be 6, which makes this 4. Therefore, this makes this 8, which is next to a 7 or 9. Therefore, it's next to a low digit, which makes that a 1, because there's no 2, 3, or 4 possible here. Then this must be 6, because that's the only high digit out of 2 or 6. This can't be 1. These are both high. This is high. And these two are low. Okay. Let's see. Well, we know one of those is 7, but we don't know which one. Okay, this quad circle says that a 9 is in the surrounding 4 cells. Okay. This Renban cannot have a 9 because it requires 8 then if that's the case. What are the remaining digits in row 3? They have to be 1, 3, and 9. Well, this can't be 3 because of that 3. So this is 1 or 9, and this is 1, 3, or 9. Well, 9 cannot be in any of these two cells because we know it's surrounding the quad circle. So these can't be 9. We now have a 1, 3, 1, 3 pair in row 3, which means this can't be 1 or 3. This is 9 then. Also, if this were 1 on a red band, it would have to have 2 and 3 with it on the red band. But the 3 would then have to be here, which is a contradiction. So this cannot be 1. This has to be 3. This has to be 1. We know there's a 4 here. So one of these is 4. And the other one is either 2 or 5. So because of that, this 4 having to be here, because you cannot have 3, 2, 1, obviously, because the 1 is not there. You could have 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5. Either way, it requires a 4 here, which means 4 cannot be next to any of these black crop key dots. You also can't have a 2 because we know there's a 2, 7 pair there. Therefore, this cannot be 1, 2, can't be 2, 4 because of the 2s, can't be 2, 4, 8 because of the 4 in the same row, so it must be 3 and 6. So this is 3 and 6, which means this can't be 3, this must be 2, which makes that a 3. Therefore, this can't be 2, and must be a 4, 5 pair here. This cannot be 3, so this must be a 2, which makes that a 3. Let's see. 8 cannot be here. What are the remaining digits here? They have to be 2, 6, 7, and 9. This can't be 2. This can't be 2. None of these could be 6 or 9 because they have to be surrounding the quad circle. So this is 2 or 7. That's that. This can't be 6 because of this 3, 6 pair. So this is 7 or 9. What are the remaining digits in box 2? It's 1, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So they could be any of those there. The remaining digits in box 3 are 1, 4, 5, and 8. But this cannot be 4, 8, which forms this to be a 1, 5 pair. But this can't be 5 because of the 4, 5 pair in the row. So this must be a 1, and this must be a 5, which means this can't be 1 or 5. We now have a 4, 8 pair in row 1, which eliminates 4 and 8 in the rest of the row. So this cannot be 8 here. Also, what are the remaining digits in column 7? It's specifically 6 and 7. Okay. This can't be 6 because of this 6 here, so this must be 3, which makes that a 6. The other digit in this around this quadruple, it has to be a 5. So one of these is a 5 because none of these could be 5. Therefore, this can't be 5. It's an 8 or 9. 5 then has to be one of these two cells, which means this can't be 5. What else do we have? 8 is one of these two digits here. What's the last digit in column 6? It's an 8. The remaining digits, okay, so where is the 3 now in, okay, this can't be 1. We have a 7, 8, 9 triplet, actually, in column 5, which means 7, 8, and 9 cannot be in the rest of the column. Therefore, this must be a 3. 7 has to be one of these two digits, so 7 cannot appear in any of the rest of the digits in that box. Where is the 1? 1 cannot be here. 1 has to be here. So this is 1. We have an 8, 9, 8, 9 pair in column 4, which eliminates 8 and 9 in the rest of the column. So the rest of the column is 5, 6, or 7. So this is 5, 6, or 7, which means this can't be 5. This digit is a high now, and it has to be next to a low. But it's only 6 or 7. So that means the digits next to it have to be 1 or 2. But it can't be 1 because of that one. So this must be a 2, which makes this 7. This can't be 7, so this is 6, which makes that 7. And neither of these can be 7 here. This 2 means this can't be 2, so this must be a 7, which makes this a 9 here. Therefore, this must be 2 and 6. This can't be 2, though, so this must be 2. This is 6. And we have a 4 surrounding this quad circle, so this must be a 4, which makes that a 5. This can't be 4 then anymore. So where's the 4 in row 4? It must be here. This can't be a 7 because of this 7, so this must be 9. This also can't be a 7, so that's a 9, which makes that 8, which makes that 9, which makes that 8. Therefore, this is a 7 here. Neither of these can be 9. Therefore, it's a 5, 8, 5, 8 pair, which eliminates 5 and 8 in the rest of the row and the box. So this can't be 8, this is 9. This can't be 8 or 9, so this is 7. And these can't be 9 here. Okay, what is the rest of column 3? It has to be 3 and 4. This can't be 4, though, so this must be 3, which makes this a 4. 6, 7, 8, and 9 cannot be in this cell because of the 8, 9 here and the 6, 7 here. Therefore, this must be a low, and it cannot be 2, 3, and 4, so it must be 1. So this is 1, which makes that 2, which makes that 1. 1 has to be next to 2 highs, so these are both highs. Actually, these are both lows, so the rest of the box is all highs or a 5. This has to be 6 or 7, and this has to be 8 or 9 here. Okay. Well, since these cannot be lows, where are the 1 and 4? They specifically have to be those two cells, which makes this 1 and 4. The remaining digits now are 5 and 9 here, which means this can't be 9 because of the 5, 9 pair in the box, so this must be 8, which makes that a 5, which makes that an 8. This 5 means this can't be 5, so that's 9, which makes that a 5. Where can the 7 be in this box? Can't be here anymore, can't be here. It must be this digit. So this is a 7, and this must be a 6. This 6 means this can't be a 6, so that's a 5. That makes that a 6. The remaining digits in row 7 are 3 and 5. And this can't be 3, so this must be 5, which makes that a 3. The remaining digits in row 8 are 2 and 9. This can't be 9, so this must be 2, which makes that a 9. This 2 means that can't be 2, so it's a 7. And this is just normal Sudoku. That must be a 2. This 7 makes that a 1, which makes that a 7. This 1 makes that a 4, which makes that a 1. This 4 makes this an 8, which makes that a 4. And this 8 makes that a 5, which makes that an 8. And that's how you solve it. Pretty straightforward. Always fun. I always love Megan 33's Fog of War puzzles. And they're always chock full of really nice logic in them. And this was no exception. So, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.